Ever noticed how some conversations just fade? No fight, no goodbye, just silence. You send the last message, and then you wait. Minutes turn into hours. Hours turn into days. And suddenly you realize, if you don't text first, this conversation might never happen again. We've all been there. That one friend, that one person, that one chat thread buried under newer notifications. At first, it feels normal. You think, they're just busy. Then it happens again and again, until one day you stop texting first. Not out of anger, but out of curiosity. And what follows? Silence. So what does that mean? Did they stop caring? Or did you finally see the truth? Picture this. You're sitting on your bed at night, phone glowing in your hand, thumb hovering over the keyboard. You type, "Hey, what's up?" Then pause. Delete. Type again. Pause again. And this time, you don't send it. You decide, let them text first. And just like that, you've entered a psychological experiment without even realizing it. People who stop texting first are often misunderstood. It's not always ego. It's not always attitude. Sometimes it's awareness. Because at some point, they start noticing a pattern. They are always the one initiating. Always the one checking in. Always the one keeping the connection alive. And that realization hits quietly, but deeply. In psychology, there's something called reciprocity. It's simple. We expect effort to be returned. When someone invests in a relationship, emotionally, mentally, socially, they naturally look for signs that the other person is doing the same. But when that effort isn't matched, the brain starts asking questions. Why am I the only one trying? Do they even care? And over time, those questions turn into distance. At first, they justify it. They're just busy. They'll text later. They're not a texting person, but slowly, excuses turn into clarity. And clarity leads to a decision. Stop texting first. Not as a punishment, but as a test. A quiet one and honest one. A test that reveals everything. Without saying a single word. Here's the paradox. When you stop chasing, you start seeing. Because effort creates illusion. But silence reveals reality. If they care, they'll reach out. If they don't, they won't. And suddenly, things become painfully simple. For many people, stopping first texts isn't about others at all. It's about self-respect. It's that moment when someone realizes, I deserve effort too. Not constant attention, not perfection, just balance. Because relationships aren't supposed to feel like a one-person job. Imagine two friends. One always texts first, sends memes, checks in, keeps the bond alive. The other replies, but rarely initiates. Everything feels fine until the first friend stops. Days pass, then weeks, and nothing happens. That silence says more than any message ever could. But here's something people don't talk about enough. Sometimes, people who stop texting first aren't testing others. They're protecting themselves from feeling unwanted, from overthinking, from being the only one who cares. It's not drama. It's emotional fatigue. There are two types of people in this situation. One, those who stop texting to see who stays. Two, those who stop texting because they're tired of feeling invisible. One is curious. The other is exhausted. But both are searching for the same thing, proof that they matter. There's also fear involved, because every unanswered message feels like a tiny rejection. And over time, the brain learns, if I don't send the message, I can't be ignored. So stopping becomes a form of emotional safety. Less risk, less hurt, but also less connection. And here's the contradiction. The same action that protects you can also cost you. Because sometimes the other person is thinking the same thing. They didn't text me. Maybe they don't care. And just like that, two people drift apart, both waiting for the other to reach out. Two rooms, two people, two phones, both online, both thinking, neither texting. A connection lost in hesitation. Not everyone expresses care the same way. Some people show it through messages, others through presence, actions, or timing. So when someone doesn't text first, it doesn't always mean they don't care. But if they never do, that's when patterns speak louder than excuses. Because in the end, people don't show who they are through words. They show it through patterns. Consistency is louder than apologies. Effort is louder than excuses. And silence is louder than both. Stopping texting first is a quiet kind of heartbreak. No arguments, no closure. Just a slow realization that you were more invested than they were. And that realization, it changes you. It makes you more careful, more observant, more selective. Not colder, just wiser so. So if you stop texting first, ask yourself, was it ego or was it clarity? Were you playing a game or were you finally seeing the truth? Because sometimes the people who stop reaching out aren't losing interest. They're finally finding themselves. If this made you think of someone or even yourself, then maybe it's time to reflect, not react. And if you enjoy content that explores human behavior like this, you already know what to do. Stay curious,